Welcome back everyone dito sa latest episode ng soon to be completed Quad 2 plus 2 mamaya very shortly. Yung ating mga pasaway na kasama, they'll join us very shortly. Thank you so much, brother Chris Stan, for joining us. Oh my goodness, pumikit lang tayo. Ang dami na nangyari sa Pilipinas. Maybe let's start with the least controversial one. Amy Marcos being basically disowned by the first family. Maraming shade si Sandro. Nagsishade, sabi ni Sandro, napakababa naman ang level ni tita. Hindi ganun ang tunay na kapatid. Parang ang dami mga doble entrante nangyari dyan, Chris. What do you think about Sandro Bardagulan moves?
Actually, I appreciate the fact that Sandro at least is defending his dad, you know. That says a lot about him versus the kapatid mismo na bumabanat ng ganyan. At saka talagang pag tinignan mo, no, yung ang daming hypocrisy yung ginagawa ni Amy Marcos. Sasabihin niya nagmamariwana daw si BBM. Pero yung kakampi naman niya, mga Duterte, ay known, drug addicts as well. I mean, if you really think about it, look at Kitty Duterte. Look at Baste. Malala yung mga yun, ah. I wouldn't be surprised if Pulong also did some drugs. So yun ang irony dito sa pagsasabi
You
ni
mean, sorry, you mean
ni
use
Amy.
or sell? No.
Yun pa, 'di ba? So there's a lot of irony in what Amy Marcos did. Pero for Sandro para bumanat ng ganyan, that's good. He's doing what a son should do. At hindi lang yun, pati yung First Lady, si Lisa Marcos ay bumanat na rin. Nakakatawa. Nakita mo ba yung labanan nila sa Facebook?
No,
It's
no, go, bro. I missed it. Yung internet is so bad here in Oxford. Grabe. Go ahead.
talaga. Oh my God. Sige, so alam mo, ang gagawin ko. How about I'll do one better. I'm actually going to show you Lisa Marcos Araneta's post.
Let's do this.
This is so hilarious kasi siguro napikon na rin to si Lisa Marcos. Sabi niya, wag na. Ano na lang, magsasalita na siya. So it's turning into like a social media circus. So I'm gonna show you her page right now. I'm gonna just share the screen para makita mo to. And then, I don't know if she took it out ata. Ay, okay. O, tinanggal na. Okay, wala na, wala na.
Baka may screenshot. Wala ka bang screenshot?
I do have a screenshot.
Oo, mga
Good
ganun bro. Yung
boy.
screenshot na
Yun naman
yan.
pala
Para wala
eh.
nang delete-delete.
Sige, sige. O, to. Screenshot. Papakita ko sa inyo to. Kasi sobrang nakakatawa yung banat ni Lisa Marcos. Kasi ang point niya, Richard, ay dito sa post niya, hindi siya yung gumawa ng post. Fake news to. So, natanggal talaga to sa Facebook kasi fake news siya. Pero, pinost pa rin ni Lisa Marcos. You get it? So, she sees this
Kaya
fake
sabi ni Amy,
news.
that's fake. I
Yes, and
saw
then,
the Amy response. I
yes.
see.
So, then Ivy responds na siya din daw, fake yung kanya. So, okay. Pakita ko muna sa kay Lisa Marcos. Ito, pakita ko muna. Then you'll get the humor in this. Ay, okay. You need to allow me to share my screen.
Allow you
Ayan.
back to allow me back to allow you.
Oo nga eh. Ayan, ito. Ito yung kay Lisa Marcos para makita niyo lahat. Okay, here we go. I don't know if you can see this. Ano yan. So, yung kay Lisa Marcos, nakita mo, yan nakalagay. And speaking of fake news, welcome to Entertainment Pinoy Style. So, she posted this fake news of her saying, I won't argue with you anymore because after all, you're my husband's sister and I respect Mommy Imelda. Pero, yung mga statements mo, fake. Kasing fake ng mukha mo retokado. Lisa Araneta Marcos, so that's a fake post. But Lisa Marcos posted it anyway. Sumagot naman. So I'll show you now the one for Amy Marcos. Sumagot siya eh. I don't know. There, can you see this one with Amy Marcos or no?
Hindi, nasa
Nag-switch
Lisa
ba?
pa rin tayo. Nasa first
Okay, okay, okay.
family.
So let me do this again. Ayan.
Uy, parang
Ito naman
magandang
yung
style yan, ha?
ito
Hindi
yung
ako nagsabi niyan, ha? Fake news yan, ha? Pero,
exactly. So plausible deniability, di ba? Parang I'm not saying anything. It's really what was there. So yun naman, sumagot si Amy Marcos, I did not post this. Thanks.
that
Yung
one I
sagot niya,
saw. Yun ang nakita ko, kaya di ko get the
yon.
context.
Sabi niya, yes, don't argue with me. You should thank me. Ipinilit kita sa kapatid ko kahit maganda lahat ng mga ex niya. Ikaw ang pinaka-ugly with the biggest tummy full of drugs and wine. Ang photos needed, na-edit. Pero ang hair follicle test, hindi nare-retoke, Ivy Marcos. So, Nakita mo yung irony ng dalawa, no? I think yung kay Amy Marcos, she probably did say this and she just said, I did not post this para lang deniability, di ba? So, pero yung kay Lisa Marcos, talagang fake news yun. But she posted it anyway. So, this is turning into one big, I was gonna say Game of Thrones eh. Hindi na nga Game of Thrones
It's
to,
an
para
ugly,
tong
yeah, ugly talk.
Dynasty na Netflix. Ay, hindi, Netflix. Yung mga teleserye, nung paano, mga soap operas. Parang ganun yan eh. And it's all being fought online on social media. That's the funny part about it.
Okay, sige, pag-usapan natin ng masinsinan nito. Bakit kaya ginawa ni Amy yan? Out of the, I mean, okay, alam naman natin matagal na inggit niyan si Amy sa kapatid niya, matagal na talagang Karen yan, feeling kung sino siya. Ano rin naman, rector rin yata yung university. Ano niya, but anyway, pero bakit niya gawin yan dun sa INC rally when clearly pati yung mga host ay hindi natuwa sa kanya? Parang ano to, parang burn down the house level desperation or sinulsul siya ng mga DDS or umaasa siya na ang mga DDS ay mag-rally behind there. Even if it's another Marcos. I mean, hindi, fool me once pero fool me thrice. Baka sa DDS lang mangyari yan na Marcos na naman susuportahan nila in 2028.
You know, Richard, pag tinignan mo, no, it's all of the above. This was all planned, a planned script. Alam ng mga DDS to, alam ng lahat yung plano eh. You start with Zaldico, part 1, part 2, part 3, and the main pasabog, Amy Marcos, on the day of the second day of the rally. Tapos, ang inaasahan nila mangyayari, of course, is na mag-withdraw ng support ang military. May mga rumors ka. I think si Attorney Just nga. Attorney Just, di ba? Ikaw ata yung naglagay na tong mga nagkalat nung parang sa Tweety Bird mo na sinasabi na Sara Duterte was in Manila Hotel waiting in the wings. Literally, nakasuot na ng kanyang presidential outfit, nag-aantay. Wala. Support. Yan ang nangyari. So yun ang idea ni na Amy Marcos. I believe everyone says that anyway. Tapos yun, biglang INC nag-cancel ng day 3. There were a lot of negotiations that were happening behind the scenes. Kaya biglang nag-iba yung tono ng INC. Di ba napansin mo? Wala nang BBM resign. Pinalis ng mga DDS. Tapos sinasabi ngayon, we want to hold, parang we want to catch all the corrupt and stop the corruption. Ganun na lang daw, bigla. There were a lot of negotiations that happened behind the scenes. Ang maganda dito, at least ngayon, yung mga kababayan natin, alam na nila itong mga teatro na ginagawa ng ating politiko. The political theater. Tayo ang audience at nanunood tayo at sinusubukan nila i-court yung attention natin at yung ating pananaw para pumanig tayo sa kanilang kampo. Yun eh. Kaya ngayon na alam na ng ating mga kababayan yan, at least ngayon, hindi na tayo basta-basta mabubudol.
Pero teatro na ba yan, Attorney Jess? Welcome back! Been a while! Ano, Jess? Teatro na ba to or talagang bardagulan Civil War na yan? Anong basa mo?
Ayun,
Mark?
kum- kumpleto na tayo, nakahabol din ako sa wakas. Civil War, Civil
Civil.
War ng magkapatid, no? Si Amy Marcos at si Bongbong Marcos. Well, dati pa naman sila magkaaway. Syempre kasi si Senator Amy Marcos, alam naman natin yan, she has always thought that she was more presidential or presidentiable. Meron siyang mga made in Malacanang with Daryl Yap. We can see her ambitions and we can see her hang up sa kanyang kapatid na dahil lalaki yung kapatid, dahil Bongbong Marcos Jr., yung kapatid niya kailangang tumakbo at mas popular or mas viable. Siya babae, tapos syempre may question kung kapatid ba talaga siya, hindi siya yung pinatakbo. So, meron talagang civil war yan noon pa.
Are we past the point of no return? Kasi matagal naman nagsishade talaga yan si Amy. Matagal naman siyang Karen eh. Me, myself, I, and me. Pero ito, bastusan na talaga. I mean, for Sandro to come back like that, throwing shades, ang hindi ganyan ng tunay na kapatid, napakababa na ang ginagawang.
Ang ganda ng statement niya no, Sandro Marcos. Parang kung ako gagawa ng statement, parang ganun ako. Kasi ang ganda ng dulo parang may double meaning. Mahilig ako sa mga ganong
Doble
statement
entrante.
Feeling ko, parang ano siya, point of no return. Pero, kailangan din natin isipin na ang mga Marcoses napakatuso niyan. Pwede ding nilalaro lang tayo ng pamilya Marcos, ni na Amy Marcos, ni Bongbong Marcos, because it can just be hedging. Uso yan nung martial law. After martial law, nung si Cory nakaupo, they will do everything to survive. So pwede ding nag-hedge lang yan na kunwari, pro Duterte talaga si Amy Marcos, para kung manalo man si Sara, may good cop, may bad cop. At ang good cop, si Amy Marcos sa mga Duterte.
That sounds very thoughtful of Aimee, which is hard for me to. I'm sorry. Yung ganyan na good cop, bad cop na parang kung matatalo man lang tayo, at least we have Aimee on the other side. That assumes Aimee is a very thoughtful person who doesn't have a blind ambition of her own at the expense of everything. Hindi ba just you're being too kind to I and me and myself?
Well, ano naman doon na tayo doon sa mas obvious na talagang ano lang siya, ambitious, power hungry, traidor, pero hindi din tayo pwedeng basta-basta maniniwala sa mga acting, 'di ba? Kailangan at the back of our mind, iniisip din natin, pwede namang acting lang din to kasi nga ang pinaka-clear threat sa mga Marcoses is yung uhukayin, yung tatay nila sa libingan ng mga bayani, sinabi ni Sarah yon. Tapos lahat ng mga assets nila frozen. So pwede ding may hedging 'yan. Pero doon tayo sa obvious na sa ngayon talagang civil war at point of no return yung ginawa ni Senator.
Mark, ikaw sa tingin mo, Mark, is it also possible na baka may script and then it got out of control? Because that's also a possibility na may ganyan plano and then talagang it got wild and out of control. That's also a possibility. Na tama si Jez, except it's wala na, bardagulan na, flood control, breakdown na.
Oh, yun yung ano yung 3 araw na yun eh. That was their, kumbaga, they were going to give everything na. Lahat itatapon na nila. The whole kitchen sink. Sinabay-sabay lahat eh. Zaldico and Aimee. And supposed to be there was a third day pa dapat. So God knows kung ano dapat yung plano sa pangatlong araw na yun. 'Di ba? Maraming mga naririnig doon papasok yung mga susugod sa Malacanang na hindi na nangyari. Kasi baka doon pa lang kay Amy, napikon na yung presidente, nagalit na. Kaya hindi na natuloy yung third day, hindi na umabot doon sa ano. Pero yun nga it was ano kumbaga hindi ilalabas ni Amy yun. Kung yun yung huling barahan niya eh. Kumbaga yan yung huling ano niya na, kasi extreme to do something like that, di
So
ba? You would have
desperate.
to,
Desperate. That's what you're saying,
desperate
Mark.
oo eh. And I mean, yung nga tama sinabi, there's no turning, there's no going back. Parang
Point of no return.
tinalikuran mo na yung buong pamilya mo kapag nilaglag mo yung kapatid mo ng ganun. 'Di ba? They were really expecting na matatanggal nila si BBM siguro around that time na magagalit yung tao, lalabas yung mga tao. Kaso wala eh. Hindi din nag-materialize, hindi din lumabas yung mga tao eh. In fact, di ba, sa INC na rally, mas konti pa nga yung dumating kumpara nung mga January na rally nila. So, wala. Nasayang lang din yung ano ni Amy. Although, syempre, hindi maiwasan, meron pa rin mga maniniwala kay Amy, maawa. In fairness to her, pag pinanood mo ng buo, ang ganda ng pagkaano, yung script ng buong pagkasabi, na parang siya ay concerned na kapatid lamang, na lahat
Ay,
may excuse
ay,
eh.
ay, ay,
Oh, 'di ba? Nung
ay!
kabataan tayo, nandyan si ama kaya hindi pa siya nakikialam.
Eh, ako na lang
Tapos she tried
presidente,
at least
brother.
ang galing ng in fairness dun sa script, ang ganda. 'Di ba? At merong mauuto doon sa ano. So, walang epekto to dun sa destabilization na plot kay Marcos. Pero definitely, meron pa ring mga tao na mga magagalit or yung ibang baka medyo galit, baka lalong magalit. So, gumana on that end, pero ang problema niya syempre yung balik sa kanya. Kasi ang naririnig ko din, nakita ko na post din yata ni Jess yun, na kumaga wala na yung kanyang ano kung dati meron siyang immunity dahil kapatid siya, dahil Marcos siya, baka after this doon na ano yung mga possible cases, possible na mga corruption or kung ano, doon na ngayon na magsilabasan dahil the gloves are off na. Di ba? Parang baka, siguro sila BBM, wala na akong kapatid na Amy. Parang ganun siguro yung mindset nila ngayon kung dati na pagbibigyan pa.
before we go to possible retributions, kasi parang who knows, now maybe Aimee could be opened up to investigations also on her potential anomalous interventions, whether it's a budget, flood. Before we go there, I want to ask you, Mark, Jez, and also Chris, like, do you think Aimee has a chance to win over the DDS camp? Obviously, DDS camp will love Aimee bashing BBM. They will love it. But is she winning them over necessarily? Is there any evidence to suggest effective yan dun sa DDS base for her own political future and ambitions and all of that? Maybe Chris, you want to go there before I go back to Jez and Mark?
Yeah, for me, simple lang to, no? She saw that it worked in the past election in 2025. Nanalo siya. Even though, honestly, I was surprised na nanalo siya. So, she's doing the same playbook because kung nag-work dati, why change something that's not broke, di ba? Binoto pa rin siya ng mga taga Ilocos in big numbers and also nakuha niya yung boto ng ibang mga DDS and that was enough to secure the victory. So even now, like you guys are saying, hey, this girl possibly is auditioning to be the vice president of VP Sara at this point. Kung tatakbo si Sara. Pero from the looks of it, yan ang pwedeng magyaring tandem. Kasi pag tinignan mo yan, a Duterte-Marcos tandem again, possibly could work because she could still drive some of the BBM, the Marcos supporters because of her last name.
Ikaw, Jess, do you buy that? Because some would say, at the end of the day, still the solid North was the one who carried Aimee. It was not really the DDS camp or Sara supporters. Not to mention, because I saw all of this, alam mo yung mga tarps sa Ilocos was BBM, Aimee together. And, naalala niyo, di ba may patama si Good Morning, si Tulfo number 13, di ba? May parang, in-imply siya na minasahe yung numbers kaya hindi siya nakapasok sa number 12. Naalala mo, Mark, may meron siya, sabi niya may pasabog daw siya. So may implication na baka admin actually help Aimee to become the senator kasi pasang-awa siya 12 na 12 siya. So even the argument that maybe DDS helped her enough in 2025, some would argue against it or some would say medyo skeptical yung ganyan argument. Ikaw, just what is your read on that?
Yeah, well, alam mo naman sa mga Ilocano echo chamber, no, yung echo chamber social media ng mga Ilocano, talagang unforgivable tsaka cancel culture yung ginawa ni Amy Marcos na it is very un-Ilocano, no? Hindi daw nakaka-Ilocano. So, I think she will see massive drop of numbers sa kanyang mga voters from the solid North now that she has totally broken off or declared war against her own brother. Pero again, ito nga doon tayo lagi sa critical, no? Malay nga natin, baka kahit na civil war na, si Sandro Marcos nagsabi ng statement na maanghang din, baka naman pagdating ng 2028, yung ginawa ng Marcos admin ngayong 2025, which is to help Amy Marcos pa din with the machinery, yung sinasabi mo kanina, Richard, na baka merong di ba, na maniobra din sa isang senatorial candidate, bumaba siya, nakapasok pa din si Amy Marcos, it might be because of the machinery. Naka-deliver pa din ng votes yung mga, let's say, command votes sa local government all the way up. So baka sa 2028, kung tumakbo siya VP, ang ano kasi ni Amy Marcos, she has nothing to lose eh. If she runs in 2028, she's still a senator. So sobrang ano niyan empowering and nakaka-free para kay Amy Marcos to do anything. Doon naman tayo sa, baka naman tulungan pa din siya ng admin kasi nga, nag-hedge. So, hindi ko sinasabing nag-hedge talaga. Baka lang. Pero sa ngayon, based on social media sentiment monitoring, talagang bababa yung numbers dapat ni Amy Marcos sa mga solid North because yung ginawa niya is not just un-Ilocano. It is also very un-Filipino. Wala tayong maririnig na kapwa-pamilya na gano'n, susuportahan mo, na nilalaglag mo yung sarili mong kapatid. Of course, nakikita natin nangyayari yan sa ibang family. Pero pag mayroong mga artista na gumagawa nun, nakaka-cancel din sila, nawawalan sila ng supporters, ng ad placements, ng advertisers. So, it's not very Filipino. And baka hindi lang sa Solid North, mawala ng supporters si Amy Marcos. Kasi sa mga DDS, why would they trust? Ako kung may nakikinig ng mga DDS dyan, di ba, may nakikinig sa atin na mga galit sa atin, di ba? Bakit nyo susuportahan si Amy Marcos? If she can betray her own brother, why won't she betray Sara Duterte? So, wag nyo nang gawing VP yan.
Oo nga. Ikaw, Mark, what is
Oo.
your read on that?
Ito ang problema ni Senator Amy. Una yung kanyang age ngayon She's 70 years old. Kumbaga, the next two presidential elections, kumbaga last hureh. By the time na
Baka isa lang cycle, one more
2034,
na lang.
And at this point ang basa ko kay Senator Amy from everything that I've seen over the last few years, it's ang tanging goal na lang niya sa buhay is to be president. Meron na siya lahat Sa pera, hindi na niya kailangan ng pera. Di ba? Naging senador na siya, naging ano na siya. Presidente yung ano niya Kumbaga yan yung pinaka main goal niya That's the only mission yung kanyang ginagawa yung mga bagay na to. That's why she's leaning maybe towards a more pro-China stance. 'Di ba? Kasi alam niya if China baka matulungan siya dun sa kanyang ultimate ambition na masundan yung yapak nung kanyang kinikilalang ama na si Marcos Sr. Pero ah, ang bad news kay Senadora Amy, lahat ng ginagawa niya ngayon, I think it won't be enough para piliin siya ni Sara sa 2028 She's too much of a liability, masyadong maraming baggage, she's Marcos pa rin. Lalo na kung dahil sa ginagawa nila, maraming nagagalit kay Marcos. Apelido na Senadora Amy is also a Marcos. And kahit nasabihin mong may makukuha siyang boto from Ilocos, baka siya lang yung iboto pero it won't translate doon sa boto sa taas, papunta kay Sara. So yun ang pinaka-problema ni Amy. So pero I think either way, tama din yung sinabi ni Jess, piliin man siya o hindi ni Sara, I think she will run for VP na itong 2028. Kasi running out of time Ito na yun Ito na yun. At yan yung ultimate dream niya. Simula nung manalo si BBM nung 2022, she has been preparing na. Yun ang kanyang pinaka-mission, maging presidente. Kaya, yun ang problema ni Senadora Amy. Kaya lahat sinusugal na niya All in na ba? All in na siya ngayon. Kung magba-backfire yung kanyang move na ginawa against her brother, yun ang
Yeah,
makikita natin
pag-usapan
kung
natin
anong
yung potential backfire kasi all of these hedging things that Jez is talking about only makes sense if there's no crackdown on her before 2028. So, Mark, and maybe can go back to Chris. Do you think it's possible na sampulan na siya talaga ni BBM at this point in time? Na there has to be consequence. Hindi pwede na paulit-ulit. Tapos, kasi this was a very vulnerable moment for BBM It's not like sinuntok ka lang ng kapatid mo nung ano ka lang. Sinuntok ka ng kapatid mo nung you're really down and vulnerable. Medyo next level na yan, di ba? So, probably there's now an incentive na sampulan na siya. Meaning, if indeed there's an evidence that she has been involved in anomalous activities, I doubt, 100% I doubt, then BBM would not stop investigations from moving forward. ICI may be also looking to IME's record. I'm sure IME's record could be an interesting landscape of creative imagination. Ikaw, Chris, do you think sampulan na dapat siya ni BBM or baka papunta na tayo in that direction?
Alam mo, knowing how BBM is, probably not. He probably won't do anything. Hinahayaan na lang niya. I mean, even now, hindi na nga niya pinapansin, di ba? The way I see Amy Marcos, para siyang Amy Duterte nga tawag ko sa kanya Kasi the way she acts is very typical of yung mga kampo ni Duterte. Mahilig tumahol. Mahilig gumawa ng mga insulto, mga ad hominem. Pero wala namang, ano ba yung punto nila? Di ba? Parang ganun So, sa akin, I always say, kung may asong ulol na tumatahol sa kalsada, anong gagawin mo? Tatahol ka? 'Di ba? Hahayaan mo lang, 'di ba? Hindi makita mo kung tumahol ka balik, ano ka, asong ulol ka rin ba? Yun lang So I don't think BBM's gonna do anything. But Liza Marcos is a different story. Baka yung papatol yun at pumatol na nga on social media and there could be some moves in the behind the scenes against Amy Marcos. Pero papakulong, I don't think so. I don't think that's in the books. Pero definitely to try to make life difficult for her, they probably will do something.
Ikaw, Jess, do you think that baka sampulan siya ng konti or paparamdam, pitikin siya ng konti, oy, umayos-ayos ka dyan. You're not necessarily above the...
I think mapipitik siya kasi syempre, alam mo nung Ilocos Norte governor siya, may nilabas na nun si Fariñas na mga issues against Senator Amy Marcos. Like, I don't know if you guys recall, di ba, yung mga pinirmahan niyang purchase orders ng mga parang kotse. Question na yon. Tapos, pangalawa, yung excise taxes. Nung governor siya, question na din yon. Nung political enemies niya sa local level na congressman noon, siya governor. Kaya, na-happy siya. Ngayon naman, ang ano ko na lang dyan, on the national level, wala akong gustong sabihin except ito. Ito mga facts lang to. I'm just gonna say facts, di ba? Ang regional director sa Ilocos Region, ang pangalan niya si Regional Director Engineer Ronel Tan. Okay, one. Second, si RD Ronel Tan ay ang asawa ni Governor Helen Tan. Okay? Tapos, pangatlo, yun, naging Ilocos Norte Governor, si Amy Marcos noon. Tapos, naging senador. Okay? Yun lang. Mga facts.
I'm sure they're
Oo,
totally
alam si Jess
wala. Facts first tayo, di ba?
Facts first lang.
Facts first. Pero wala nang second. Facts din. So Mark, speaking of facts first, do you think vulnerable si Amy? Baka pitikin siya.
Yeah, tama yung sinabi ni Chris, hindi niya sabihin ko eh. Si BBM siguro wala, pero si Lisa kasi ang nagalit. And if yung mga sinasabi nila about kay Lisa is true, di ba, na yung ano daw ka-powerful si Lisa behind the scenes and ano. Ang problema kasi pati anak dinamay eh. Di ba? It's one thing na akusahan siya, tsaka silang mag-asawa. Tapos sinabi pa yung mga anak, yun pa yung term na ginamit, mga anak yung... So, I wouldn't be surprised if yung the remaining 2.5 years ni Marcos, itong si Lisa ay gamitin yan, lahat yan, para to make Amy's life a living hell. And of course, yung lumabas yung kay Secretary Larry Gadon, di ba, na may sinasabi, bagman nga daw ni Amy sa DPWH. And, hindi naman niya siguro sasabihin yun nang walang, walang inside
Walang
info,
green
o walang
light.
Oo, posibleng plano against o posibleng kaso against dito kay Sen Aimee. So, ayun, ako talagang I wouldn't be surprised nga if kung ako yung nasa lugar ni Tiger Lisa, okay, ni First Lady Lisa Marcos. Baka nga ilan pa taon ng asawa ko, 2.5 taon, naku, isasagarin ko na to. Sisiguraduhin ko makakaganti kami sa iyo. Kasi after pagbaba niya sa pwesto, hindi na sila makaganti ng katulad ngayon, di ba? So, I think baka ganun yung maging direksyon.
But Chris, can BBM afford not to do something about this? Can't he look even more vulnerable or weak?
Remember, like, if you look at the way Amy attacks, it's really just about the drugs, hair follicle test. Ganun lang naman. It's not about performance. It's not about the flood control issue. She didn't drop any bombs na parang damay si BBM sa flood control issue. Ito ang ebidensya. Walang ganun
How
eh.
can you say that, bro? Basically, if you're saying someone is a cocaine addict, that means everything is wrong. Like,
Yeah,
bakit
no,
ko papatulan ng policy mo? Bangag ka, parang ganun eh.
well, kasi nga, again, yung issue na yan with regards to BBM has already been around since before 2022. Ang tagal ng di Duterte sinasabi yan, yung tugtugin na yan. Kumbaga, gasgas na. Parang ganun. Manhid na tayo dyan, number one. Number two, kung pinag-uusapan kasi natin ay how can you follow or, want somebody to be president na bangag, for example. Hey, I would take bangag anytime over isang mamamatay tao. Nakikita mo yung irony diyan, di ba? Sabihin natin BBM is a drug user. Pero then you look at Duterte, who's also a drug user, who's also addicted to drugs, who's also admitted to using marijuana every morning. I don't know if every morning or basta in the morning, sinasabi, Bisu Duterte said this, I use marijuana in the morning para daw to help him daw. Plus yung fentanyl addiction pa niya, di ba? Tapos pumapatay pa ng tao. So, you know what I mean? So, kaya ang hirap nung ganung bumabanat ka ng ganyan. Pag tinitignan mo yung nasa likod mo, mas malala. Yung buong pamilya, mas malala.
Wala na siya sa
Mga
likod.
Duterte.
Nasa Hague na siya. Nasa detention na. Wala
Not just
archive na.
Duterte. I'm talking about the entire
I'm kidding.
Duterte family.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
That's the thing, di ba? Kaya in that sense, talagang Kaya siguro yung mga tao parang natatawa na lang eh. So in other words, wala. Supot talaga yung banat ni Aimee and wala. It's a nothing
So,
burger, di
so
ba?
basically, Chris, you're saying she's just trolling. It's not worth.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay,
Taho na
having said
taho.
that, yeah, I want to get opinion of everyone on this. So you have this situation with Aimee. We're still debating if masampo lang siya or something. But now, BBM is saying baka Romualdez could be also facing charges and all.
Mm.
Isn't he... We're talking about politics here, right? Lahat naman tayo gusto natin ng good governance. I'm just saying, like, isn't Marcos like demolishing his own base? I mean, if he's gonna pick a fight with his sister, whether he wants it or not, he's already there. Then his cousin, he's gonna green light charges against his cousins. I mean, baka magko-collapse yung kanyang coalition, whatever. Di ba, Jess? I mean, this looks like a very dangerous move by BBM. Ano yan, parang damn if you do, damn if you don't. Parang ganun na yung situation ni Marcos. It's very risky, ah. Yung kapatid niya, kaaway niya na. Yung cousin niya, pwede niyang kasuhin. Eh, may ally din si Romualdez sa Congress and all of that. I mean, this thing could fall apart. And then may DDS na nakahintay. And then mga pinks na hindi naman ally din ni BBM. Is he just closing the walls on himself in a way?
Well, on the one hand, di ba, if we want to know why BBM is doing this or why he can and is willing to do it, one, presidente na siya eh. Kahit anong mangyari after, no, nakuha na niya yung, let's say, peak na gusto niya. So, ang tinitingnan niya ngayon, quote, is legacy. However cringy that may sound, no, or unbelievable that might sound, on his part, siya nagsasabi nito, hindi ako talagang he entered the presidency thinking he wants to redeem, quote unquote, the Marcos name and create a legacy. So, I think legacy building siya, sa tingin niya by doing this anti-corruption drive. But sa paglalaglag naman kay Martin Romualdez, one, I don't think na technically nilalaglag niya. We have to note, just a few weeks ago or a week ago, sinabi niya mukhang walang kinalaman si Martin Romualdez. Yung sinasabi ngayon ni BBM is also not yet for me na paglalaglag. Kasi yung sinasabi lang niya is follow the evidence. Kung may ikakaso yung ombudsman, kung may makita yung DPWH, sundan yung evidence. Something like that. I don't recall the verbatim, no? The exact words. Pero hindi niya sinasabing sa tingin niya may kalokohan talaga, sa tingin niya dapat makasuhan. Sinasabi lang niya kung makakasuhan yan. So, parang sinasabi niya hands off siya or hindi siya makikialam to protect his
Impartial
cousin.
yung ICI, basically impartial yung ICI. Although
Correct.
he didn't defend his cousin who stood by him all these years.
And,
Not to mention who oversaw the impeachment of Sara, which was a very
and
exorbitant undertaking, to put it mildly.
feeling ko calculated move yun na wag i-defend explicitly si
Hedge
Martin.
na naman yan. Hedge na naman, charot.
Hindi siya hedge eh. It is an acting. It is a performance on the part of BBM. And ano yung signal natin or clue na mukhang alam ni Martin Romualdez na acting lang ito. Because sa mga statements naman ni Martin Romualdez, hindi din niya tinitira si BBM. Napaka-respectful, lagi, magnanimous yung mga public pronouncements ni Romualdez, even if kanina nga na parang okay, kung investigahan si Romualdez, sure, hindi daw pipigilan ni BBM or follow the evidence, hindi mo maririnig si Romualdez na parang nilalaglag or kinukurot si BBM. So, ang isang dating sa akin medyo performative pa ito. Baka kasi alam nila na walang evidence unless umuwi si Zaldico tsaka manumpa, or dito na ako sa other side of the coin. The other side of the coin is totoo yung kinikwento ni Toby Chanko. Ito yung source natin si Toby Chanko. Ang sinasabi niya, galit daw talaga yung Pangulo si BBM, kay Zaldico, tsaka kay Martin Romualdez. Kasi meron daw talaga silang ginagawa na hindi alam ni BBM or more than sa mga parang policy direction na gusto ni BBM.
Wait.
So,
Is this the same Chanko who oversaw the disastrous midterms campaign of BBM? I'm just saying, like, it
yes.
sounds interesting that someone who oversaw a totally failed campaign for the admin is now suddenly the man who's out there and taking the moral high ground. I'm just saying, people are forget Toby Chanko was in charge of the campaign of BBM,
I
and it was one of the
know.
worst ever performance by any admin, given all the resources and advantages they had.
Yeah, and it's really funny bakit si Toby Chanko yung parang crusader when ang Navotas City nalulunod pa din sa baha. And, di ba? I mean, sorry sa mga media friends natin baka may mga media friends na nanonood, but many of them are giving a free
Yeah,
pass
exactly. Like,
to Toby
sana naman, di
Chanko.
ba? Platform tayo. Wait. Ano ulit ang background? Ano ulit ang ano ng taong to? Di ba? Yun ang problema ko sa media eh. Di
No,
ba?
tsaka may mga Diskaya project sa Navotas.
Mhm.
Meron yung top-notch construction, which is also a questionable flood control contractor. So, hindi siya nagigisa na
Yeah.
mga media. Parang laging pag ini-interview si Toby Chanko, laging may krusada tsaka good governance si Toby Chanko when his own city or baluarte is full of symbols or symptoms of bad governance.
Or at least not a paragon of good government. Ayan tayo eh. Parang yung favorite ni Mark na ano, yung batang congressman na biglang very good governance. Next thing you know, Team Barzaga na. Next thing you know, Laos. Mark, sorry man, I had to throw that. Kasi I can see a scammy shade.
Kanina lang nag-post si Jess about kay Leandro na medyo positive.
Wala akong
He's the
sinasabi.
only one taking on Garjola right now.
Well,
Tatlo ang
I
biggest
like-
na contractor dyan. Zaldi, Garjola, tapos yung mga Diskaya. Si Leandro is the only one taking on Guardiola. Pero anyway, sige.
no, pero I'm sure si Richard tsaka si Chris, no?
Hello? Guys, may tumatawag sa akin. Yes, engineer. Yes. I'm against corrupt.
Hindi. Ako, Richard, whatever your hesitations are with Leandro, that's correct. It's very
Wala akong
right.
hesitation. I'm just not easy. I don't believe easily. Like, I have to see evidence. Yeah.
Yeah, no. It's sabi ko nga hesitation. It's okay to be skeptical. It's okay to be critical. Pero I'm sure, even ikaw, you would admit, di ba? Because ako, I just give credit where credit is due. Sino ang pumupukpok kay Edwin Garjola?
Yep.
Only
Tama.
Leandro.
And exposing it. And actually exposing it. To even
With
have the
evidence.
balls to do that. Di ba?
Yeah, with evidence. Oo.
Okay nga yun eh. Sa akin, saka dagdag mo dito that Leandro Leviste, for me, the reason I like him is for the points he makes. As a person, I don't know his background. I don't know. I'm a little bit dubious. Pero ito, siya ang nagsasabi na dapat ibaba ang DPWH budget. Ibaba pa natin. It's not enough. And I agree with that. Kasi nakita mo and I'm gonna bring up yung kay Toby Tiangco. Yung flood control issue ni Toby Tiangco sa Navotas. Gumastos na siya in the last 2 years or 3 years around over 4 billion pesos. Almost 5 billion pesos. At baha pa rin. Okay? Tapos ngayon, pumunta si DPWH Secretary Vince Dizon, tapos nagpagawa sila ng quote kung magkano daw para matapos na yung flood control issue nila doon. Okay? And umaabot ng 4 billion, roughly just under 4 billion pesos. Ang punto ko lang is, nabigyan na sila dati ng lampas 4 billion pesos, hindi pa nila naayos. Tapos ngayon, kailangan na naman ng 4 billion. Pero pag tinignan mo how it's computed, it's the exact same way, basically business as usual. Yung mga tingi-tingi, 100 million dito, 79 million, 50 million. Tapos pag tinignan mo, parehong kalsada yan na part of 1 kilometer, 1 kilometer, 1 kilometer. Ginagawa nila to kasi nga para hindi sila masita, para hindi masilipan, at para makalusot tong mga ganyang quotes. So it's the exact same system. Kaya I agree with Leandro Leviste na kailangan talaga baba pa yung budget ng DPWH and kung pwede nga, i-abolish na yan at baguhin na. That's why, for me, okay yan si Leandro. Unlike Kiko Barzaga, I don't even know why he's not in jail yet for all his seditious actions.
Pero isn't that something that everyone in the opposition and minority has been saying? Like all of these things, marami naman nagsasabi yan. Hindi lang naman yung isang bata or yung isa lang nagsabi.
So walang nagpapangalan Richard That's the difference. May mga DDS na congressman, pero no one is going after. Kaya sumikat si Barzaga because he was the only one na nagpangalan kay Romualdez. Although walang substance, walang ano. Itong kay Leandro, he's the only one na nagbabanggit who's going after si Garjola, na yung iba siguro takot din kay Garjola kasi malapit din sa mga powers that bidyan sa loob.
Wait, hindi ba
Pero
siya
kumbaga,
nagkamali dun sa undersecretary ng DPWH na pinangalan or something? Last time I checked, there was some major error there. Wasn't there
pero may
like someone was
nag-resign.
named and tapos mali pala, tapos nag-apologize pa siya later?
I think he was, yun yung concession niya dun sa ano eh. Nag-resign eh, may nag-resign eh. Dun sa kinall out niya eh. So for what, kung ano man yung saving face after. Ako ano hindi I don't trust Leandro 100%. But I think he will go politically kung saan yung direksyon ni Loren. Kung ano yung plano ni Loren sa 2028, meron siyang re-election. Loren Legarda is ano eh, 'di ba? They own yung distrito sa Antique, meron silang distrito sa Batangas. He might be going for the governor ng Batangas. Kaya ang nakakalaban niya si Garjola, one of the biggest contractors sa Batangas. So that it might be for personal gain niya dahil sa kanyang ambisyon sa Batangas. Pero yung paglaban niya mismo hindi madali. So sa akin that is something na I'm not supporting Leandro the person as a whole, pero yung mga actions niya going against itong malaking contractor na si Garjola.
Parang ako, I don't support Barzaga, but he says very good things about, you know. I mean,
About cats.
we can do the slicing game. I mean, there are even things I agree with Sarah. I mean, Sarah also says many good things. Chris, balikan natin. What happened with INC? I thought 3 days. I thought eto na, people power na. Mukhang they're not on board to change the administration. Sabi ni Ronald, ano daw, baka naman nagkaroon ng mutual understanding on certain important issues with accountability
Not,
and
yeah,
transparency.
not just the issues, pare. We all know that INC is a power broker. At naglalagay sila ng kanilang mga members sa loob ng gobyerno, sa loob ng kapulisan, sa loob ng military. Yan ang tactic ng INC to be able to hold power. So, I think nagkaroon siguro ng mga concessions na may mga na-appoint sa iba't ibang posisyon sa ating gobyerno na INC members. Kaya kailangan talaga sa ating mga kababayan, mga katanod, kailangan natin talagang busisihin itong mga appointees na to para makita natin kung may mga INC ba na na-appoint. Importante yan ha. At saka, yung huling narinig ko din, kaya nga nagalit yung INC the first time kasi may mga tinanggal na mga INC appointees din. So, hindi nila nagustuhan yun. So, may mga gusto silang ipa-appoint na hindi naman matuloy-tuloy. So, siguro nagkaroon ng concession. Again, for me, these are the political games that happens behind the scenes na hindi natin nakikita. Kaya kailangan talaga mamulat ang ating mga mata para hindi na tayo magpapabudol sa mga ganitong bagay. Pero if it did at least stave off the instability and created some sort of a compromise right now, then so be it. Because right now, yan ang kailangan natin, political stability with all the things happening. It is so bad in the Philippines and sa buong mundo nakikita ng lahat ng mga iba't ibang bansa how messed up Philippines is right now.
Do you think game over na, Mark, for those who were hoping to change regime na talaga? I mean, with INC out
Ay,
of
hindi.
for now.
Oo, hindi. Actually mas kung hindi ako kinakabahan before nitong 16 to 18, ngayon mas medyo kinakabahan ako.
Mm.
Kasi mukhang hindi sila titigil. Yung INC yan ang medyo na nakalma na. So medyo okay na 'yon.
But they're the most
Um
important. They're the most powerful. The most organized.
pero anytime pwede silang anytime in the next few months kung gusto nilang bumalik, kung gusto nilang gawin ulit 'yon, pwede nilang gawin. Pero sa ngayon, medyo safe 'yon. Pero may kumaga mas may mga narinig ako na merong moves din like sa Congress na they will try to subukan nila doon din i-impeach.
Yeah.
Tapos kasabay ng hindi natin alam kung ano mga ilalabas pa nitong si Zaldico, what he could invent in the future, kung anong pwede pa niyang So maraming hindi pa rin sila tumitigil.
Wait. Mark,
Tuloy-tuloy
you
pa rin
don't
yung
believe Zaldico? Si
ah,
Maleta King. You don't believe him? You don't believe things?
sabi niya wala daw siyang ninakaw eh. Doon pa lang medyo
Victim,
doon pa lang
victim
medyo
daw siya.
mahirap
Victim
ng
daw siya.
paniwalaan.
Uy,
Oo. Hindi,
pumayat
pero,
naman
pero
siya.
hindi, in fairness na hindi pero like yung 100 billion, 'di ba? Na nasabi niya. Tapos the following Monday, Senator Ping, ay may 100 billion pala. Tinanong ko si Bernardo, nag-resign si Bersamin, isang revelation pa lang yun ni Zaldico. 'Di ba? So sa akin hindi ko alam what he could invent next. doon na pwede niyang gawin at pwede niyang ano, half truth, half lie. So medyo delikado pa rin pagdating doon.
Okay, malapit ng Christmas. So pag-usapan natin ito, obviously, this is not a gift, but the government really owes us. Ito na, in-auction na 3 out of 7 luxury cars. Nag-check lang ako ng Instagram ng magandang car, biglang lumitaw yung mga Disgaea cars sa aking algorithm. Proud na proud ang ICI, binebenta itong Lincoln, itong Mercedes-Benz. Uy, maganda itong G, ano na yan
Ay,
Tapos,
Rolls-Royce.
dalawang
Nabenta na yung
Mercedes, yun,
Rolls-Royce.
nabenta ng Rolls-Royce. So, eto na, para sa bayan daw, sabi nung head ng ICI, napakaganda. And baka makasuhan na rin sila. Are we moving towards something? Kasi parang feel ko if the disguise are not held accountable, parang the whole thing looks like a joke.
Let me just chime in on this one, alam mo,
I-construct
Richard,
natin. Sige, go.
yeah, alam mo, Richard, if you look at the investigations right now, first of all, ICI has finally announced na gagawin na daw nila yung live stream. Finally, gagawin nila. May guidelines sila. And they're just not sure how to do it, but they're going to do it 100%. Okay. Now, naglabas na sila ng kanilang recommendations na magsampa ng kaso laban sa mga ilang personalities, including the top two is Zaldico and former Speaker Romualdez. Here's the thing. That is the recommendation. Pero today as well, is it today or yesterday? Today ata to eh. Yung Zaldico has finally been charged along with 17 others in DPWH and SunWest Corporation. This is the irony of what just transpired. ICI made the recommendation na magsampa ng kaso kay Zaldico, Martin Romualdez, and others. Pero the ombudsman has actually filed the DOJ has filed against Zaldico and 17 others. No other congressman, no senators. These are DPWH executives and the people that work in SunWest Corporation. So, ang dating sa akin, ito, the ICI, yung sinabi ng ICI is again theatrics. Because mahirap talaga magsampa ng kaso kung wala pang pinapakitang ebidensya na matibay. And right now, wala pa talaga pinapakita tulad ng sinabi ni Attorney Jess with regards to Speaker Romualdez, former Speaker Romualdez. And I think if they do try to file a case without any solid evidence, that case is going to fall flat. And maybe that's a strategy. Maybe the idea is just to show that I'm willing to file a case kahit na hindi papasa yung kasong yan at ma-acquit din yan.
Performative.
Yes, so just to show lang and to appease everyone na, nagsampa na ako ng kaso, let the courts do what they're gonna do. Yun na yun eh. Pero again, yun ang mahirap. It's better kung mas may matibay na ebidensya bago ka magsampa ng kaso. Otherwise, sayang lang. Now, what's really not good is, wala pang ang ibang kongresista at yung mga ibang senador hindi pa nasasampahan ng kaso. What's going on? Di ba yung tatlo, Joel Villanueva, Jinggoy Estrada, Chisa Escudero were supposed to be filed, cases were supposed to be filed against him, pero hanggang ngayon wala pa rin. Ano ba yan? At sinabi nila, di ba, bago magpasko, may mga makukulong. Kung si Zaldico lang yan na hindi naman makukulong dahil sa ibang bansa, ewan ko na talaga. Naglolokohan na tayo. Mark, ikaw ba may tiwala ka? Tingin mo ba may makukulong?
Uuwi si Harry. Baka hindi natin uuwi si Harry. Baka siya yung makukulong.
I think yung sa senador, meron before, yun yung December 15, bago magpasko.
Sinong senador? Saan? Nasaan yung senador?
Depende sa pag-uusap. Nag-uusap pa
Ganun na ba yung
Nag-uusap pa. Ang daming ano pa niyan behind the scenes. Ang daming mga wheeling dealing pa niyan behind the scenes
Or
siguro.
ano ba yung senador na yan? Wait lang. Ano ba?
Ayun. So yun nga So napaka-powerful ngayon nila Ombudsman Remulla, ni President Bongbong Marcos. So pagdating sa mga senador I think meron yan at least yung 3 bago mag-15. Pero ako yung nangyari ngayon, yung paglabas ng arrest warrant ngayon, para sa akin importante siya. Lalo na kung wag nating tingnan na bukod lang dun kay Zaldico sa taas. Kasi yon talagang nakatakas na, talagang hahabulin pa yon. Pero yung mga from Sipakanan, yung I think regional director pababa, tinitingnan ko yung pangalan ng mga DPWH, lahat ng mga engineers na kasama doon sa mga nangyari doon sa Mindoro, para sa akin, this serves also as an important lesson sa mga existing ngayon na DPWH officials na medyo magdalawang isip. Huwag lang oo ng oo doon sa mga mga ghost projects o sa mga corrupted na mga projects. Kasi at the end of the day, kayo yung makukulong kaagad. Yung mga politiko nakakatakbo sa abroad, nakakaano sa batas, pero sila yung maiiwan sa kulungan eh. And sa akin I'm not sure kung how fast they would be able to arrest itong mga engineers na ito. Pero imagine yung itsura nun. Ikukulong sila doon sa Quezon City, doon sa kulungan na hinanda ni John Vic. 'Di ba? Sa akin, importanteng masimulan, importanteng may makatikim ng rehas muna na pakita ng Pangulo, hindi tayo nagbibiro dito. Meron at merong makukulong talaga. Pero nababagalan ako kasi Mindoro pa lang yan eh. Yung Bulacan, wala pa. Yung La Union, yung Davao Orient, yung sa Davao, so, apat pa lang yun. Ilan yung ghost projects? 400. Baka naman pwedeng bilisan. 'Di ba? Itong nangyari sa gagawin nila sa Mindoro, gawin nila doon sa
Correct.
ako okay na ako kahit puro engineers muna mahuli. Isunod kasi kakanta din yan eh. Yan din yung
Correct, correct,
kakanta, yan
correct.
din yung kakanta, yan din yung
Yun yung
magsusumbong kung
key
sino.
to the
Oo, kung
Alibaba
sino yung
case.
mga politiko na And nagagets ko din naman, kumaga nagagets ko din naman na syempre may mga congressman na involved pero maraming mga dealings na nangyayari behind the scenes. Syempre, kapag naman nagalit lahat ng mga congressman, baka naman i-impeach si Marcos. Baka
Yun
ganun
nga
din yung...
inisip ko eh. He
So,
has to be. Oh, mamaya sasabog yan. Yung
yun
House of
nga yun nga
Dynamite.
Kasi definitely, merong mga congressman na may parking fee. Di ba? Kunyari, si Zaldico, mag-i-insert ako sa Mindoro, o mag-i-insert ako sa ganitong probinsya, o yung sa congressman, o ito, meron kang a certain percentage para hindi ka naman, hindi ka naman, ang problema din, naririnig ko din not to excuse anyone from corruption, pag congressman ka, inutusan ka ng APRO or ng
Wala kang
kung sino man dyan, na kapag tumanggi ka, wag niyong ilalagay sa distrito ko yan, ganyan, 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 ikaw naman malalagay sa alanganin.
kalaban
Yung
ka
mga
na.
proyekto mo na... Oh, so yun ang problem, napakalalim eh. Kasi ang daming involved. Ako, basta may mga maraming makulong, kahit puro engineers yan, tapos isunod mo yung mga board member ng SunWest, yung mga manager ng SunWest, maunahin na yon, di ba? Unahin na lahat, kakanta lahat yan.
Pero I think,
Yun
Mark,
ang,
people want big fish eh. They want big heads to roll.
oh.
Ang pangit
Ah,
tignan yung mga pitsugin
Ang
lang.
pangit talaga tingnan. Pero when you think about it, tao din naman ang may kasalanan. Tayo din naman ang bumoboto sa mga yan. Pero doon
Pero hindi
papunta
natin
yon. Ako
binoto yung
naniniwala ako.
engineers. Pero engineers.
Ano yun? Hindi, kaya nga sila yung naaresto kagad eh. I mean yung mga politiko, tayo din yung
I
bumoboto
know,
sa
I know.
kanila.
I get
Oh,
it.
mas mahirap, mas mahirap. Kasi walang paper trail eh. 'Di ba? Pag ghost project, may pirma yung DPWH, may pirma yung contractor, yung congressman wala namang pirma yung niya
May
parking fee
plausible
niya eh.
deniability. Correct.
Oo eh. So,
Correct.
darating din doon kaso yun nga sa akin muna eh, matutunan muna, meron munang makulong, marehas, maramdaman nila yun. At least start the ball rolling para dito isa-isahin yung mga big fish.
Oo.
Yan, yung mga contractor na lumalabas, yung 'di ba, hinahabol yung mga Villar.
Mm.
Gusto ko ding i-promote ko na. Next week lalabas yung aking bagong podcast, si Mark Anthony Santos, congressman from Las Piñas.
The
Yun,
Villiers.
isang oras yung podcast. Oo, isang oras yung podcast namin. Hindi kasya sa lahat ng mga kasalanan ng mga Villar sa Las Piñas, lahat ng mga illegal
Congratulations,
na
Agent!
ha? Ano
Bababa
yun?
tayo! Bababa! Bababa!
Hindi, yun yung
Magagalit si Madam Cynthia
ang
sa'yo.
Ombudsman Remulla is going after them now, di
Mm.
ba? Yun yung pinag-usapan namin, isang oras, ang dami. Ang dami. Yung mga ganyang klase, yung nagpapahirap sa bayan eh. Yung mga politiko na, kumaga, mas priority yung kanilang kumpanya o kanilang kayamanan or kung ano-ano man. So, Villar kasi kitang-kita eh. Pero yung mga iba din, yung sila Zaldico, Guardiola, and all the rest na mga nandyan. So yun ang kailangang isa-isahin. At hindi madali. At syempre, the more na nilalabanan sila ni BBM, mas Actually, yung point mo kanina, yung if BBM is going after Romualdez, lahat ng ginagawa ni BBM ngayon, going after the Villars, going after lahat yan puro hindi wise move politically eh. Wala siyang ginagawa. Sa lahat ng inahabol niya sila Cheese, inahabol niya sila Joel, lahat yan puro negative in terms of pag sa political politically pero it's the right thing to do. So hindi ko lang din alam kung hanggang saan mo pwedeng i-stretch itong si BBM sa dami ng kaaway na ginagawa nila ngayon, 'di ba? Maski yung kay Romualdez, 'di ba? Kung pinsan man niya or kung ano man, kung nag-uusap man sila o hindi, kaso may ebidensya na umaabot kay Romualdez or merong mga hindi naman ebidensya, more on accusations na umaabot kay Romualdez. The right thing to do is ipasa sa ombudsman, kayo bahalang tumingin dyan kung anong meron.
Pero alam mo, Mark, I just want to comment on some of the things you pointed out. Yung number one, lahat kinakaaway niya and it's not a wise political thing to do. Actually, I believe it is. Alam mo kung bakit? Kasi kung ang taong bayan nasa likod ni BBM sa ginagawa niyang paghahabol sa lahat ng korupsyon, yan ang ano niya, political capital niya. Yung tao. Mas malakas at mas makapangyarihan ng taong bayan kumpara sa mga political allies na corrupt. Kasi nga nakita mo, ang mga Duterte ay pumapanig sa mga corrupt. Pinoprotektahan ng mga corrupt. Lalo pa yung mga pronouncements sila at the way they're making these political dealings behind the scenes. Mukhang ang lumalabas, nakikita mo na yung linya kung sino yung corrupt at sino yung hindi. Tingnan mo lang yung mga nakakasuhan. Tingnan mo yung mga nasasama dito eh. Pero having said that, isa pang babanggitin ko with regards to the 100 billion na binanggit ni Zaldico nga, di ba? Na lumalabas ngayon, may katotohanan pala. For me, ganito lang kasimple yun. Although it's a half-truth, and now Lacson speaking out, saying nga na hindi daw totoo. Totoo daw yung 100 billion pero hindi naman daw si Zaldico ang nag-deliver. Kaya what's he talking about? Kasi ang nag-deliver daw si Bernardo. Pero I don't understand why Bernardo would actually suddenly come out of the voluntarily give that information. That didn't make sense for me. Tapos nakikita mo itong mga USEC na to. Lahat sila involved. And here's the thing na hindi binanggit ni Lacson dito. Sino ang nakakuha ng 8 billion pesos na nalagay na kickback? Hindi niya sinabi ko sino. Pinapalabas ngayon na si Yusek Try-Give Olivar ay nagtatrabaho o siya yung bagman para kay Lucas Bersamin, kay Executive Secretary Lucas Bersamin through the grandson. So yung grandson at si Olivar ay magkakontsaba para makakuha si Bersamin. Pero again, at this point, it's hearsay. But the question really is, did Bersamin get the money? Or yung sinasabi ni Lacson na ginamit lang ni Zaldi na parang na misrepresent lang daw yung pagkasabi ng pangalan ni BBM. Was it really a misrepresentation? Or did they actually represent BBM? Yan yung mga tanong eh. Kaya talagang interesting ang mangyayari talaga in this
Maraming
political
layers
arena in the
yan eh.
next few
Yeah.
days.
Grabe, lasagna. Ang daming layers. Kaya,
No, can you imagine? Paano kung nagkatotoo? Paano kung
right.
totoo pa lang ni-represent? Remember, Lucas Bersamin is challenging the ombudsman now to sue him. Habulin niyo ako. Matapang siya eh. Ex-Chief Justice ba naman yan eh, di ba? Pero tingin ko, magkaibigan sila ni BBM and maganda yung nila, parting ways sila. So, but if he did not do it, will he take the fall? He won't. Kung kinuha niya pera, two things can happen. Ilalaglag niya si BBM pa rin dahil ayaw niyang makulong. O kaya, he really took the money, or he didn't take the money and he has to point higher kasi otherwise makukulong siya. And then he'll apply for state witness, di ba? Yun lang yun.
Yun nga eh. So now let's go to the last part of discussion. Dami natin pinag-usapan. Ako lang kasi, for me, Chris, hindi pa rin sure sa akin na people are behind BBM. I just don't see it in the numbers. He's still very unpopular. His numbers are very low. He still has serious credibility gap. But yes, it's a gamble he has to make. For me, parang wala na siyang choice eh. He has rolled the dice na eh. So for me, it's more like that. Panindigan na yan eh. So I just don't see he has won over the people. But I think the moment na may makulong na big fish, hindi lang yung mga engineers na favorite ni Mark, baka there will be some realignment or alignment. But the risk is nga, baka mag-collapse yung kanyang political coalition. Last part, Mark. So where does that leave the rest? Kasi magrarally na rin yung mga Pinks, di ba? Soon, this month. Ano kayang expectation natin dyan? And now, Alice Go is officially, ano na, ma-can na siya. So, isn't this a good shot for Riza Ontiveros? It says na baka that's really the way that actually it's the Pinks who are doing real accountability here despite their limited power.
Sino? Si Mark? Mark, ikaw ata tinatanong ni
Any of
Richard
you?
dito.
Yeah, any of you, bro.
Ako muna.
Yeah.
Yun, definitely yung kay Alice Guo, it's a big score for Senator Risa Ontiveros. Like you said nga, she's the best performing senator. Also good din kay BBM. Kasi nangyari din sa term niya going against the Pogos. So, kumaga ano yun, okay na achievement yun for both of them. Moving forward, okay, sa Pinks. Ito yung nangyari 1 hour ago lang actually. Nagulat din ako, so I shared it din. Senator Kiko Pangilinan, um, nag-share siya nung post about kay Mayor Lenny na saying na Mayor Lenny doesn't want to run sa 2028. Senator Kiko openly said doon na kumbinsihin natin si Mayora Lenny na tumakbo sa 2028. Instead na ano tayo diyan sa Marcos resign, Sara resign, let us just focus sa 2028. Kumbinsihin natin si Mayora Lenny na tumakbo. So that's big na this early na merong ganong
Kailangan na eh. Kailangan na eh. Yeah, kailangan ng
statement,
third
diba?
force.
Coming from someone na head ng Liberal Party, nasa taas ng Liberal Party. Kaya, yun ang, baka si Senator Kiko pa ang mag-lead ng way, di ba? Kung sa
Yeah, I'm
pagbuo
very
ng,
impressed with Kiko. He's doing very well.
oo, he will not be the one to run, pero he could be the leader na mag-ano sa lahat, na ano kay Sen Risa, kay Mayora Lenny, kay Senator Bam, kung sino man yung consensus na mabuo natin, kung sino mang alliances ang mabubuo natin sa labas. So baka si Senator Kiko ang could be the one to do that for the pink side, lalo na kung wala naman siyang plano for 2028. Diba? Pero siya yung pwedeng mag-lead.
Absolutely. I want to close with you, Chris, kasi you're the one who really did the super extraordinary breakdown of the whole Alice Go saga. Is that saga closed now? And ano yung takeaway natin dito, especially given the role that Riza Ontiveros played?
So it's really good what the Senate did, and Risa Ontiveros because of the inquiry that she held. Alam mo gaano ka-importante yung Senate hearing na ginawa niya? It is the one that sealed the case because of the evidence presented during the Senate hearing. Yan ang ginamit ng DOJ para mapatibay ang kaso nila, para makukuha ng conviction na hindi nila makukuha kung hindi dahil sa Senate hearing. Kasi remember, I was talking to Attorney Dino about this and he explained this. The power of contempt to contempt witnesses was what forced Alice Go and other witnesses to actually speak out and reveal a lot of what was happening na hindi nila makukuha. The DOJ could not have gotten that information if it wasn't for the Senate. So yeah, number one. Number two, ito yung pinaka-problem ko lang. I am happy na nakulong si Alice Go. Pero at the same time, I am not happy na nakalusot si Cassandra Ong. Kasi it was obvious na parang tingin ko may mga naawa kay Cassandra Ong dahil ang bata pa niya. She was what? She was mid-20s and she could be in jail for life. At least 40 years. So tingin ko may naawa kaya napalusot siya, kaya nakatakas siya ngayon. At large siya. Hindi lang yun. Ito yung pinakamasama dito para sa akin. Nakulong yung mga babae nito. They're guilty. Not saying they're not. They're guilty. But what about the real masterminds na kasama nila? Yung godfather ni Cassandra Ong na mukhang tatay nga niya na talagang gangster, criminal underlord boss type. At yung kasama ni Alice Go na criminal na umiikot sa buong Asia. Okay? Na marami siyang mga criminal enterprises. Alice Go is the parang partner for Philippines. Pero itong guy na to, umiikot to. Nasaan siya? Bakit hindi nakukulong yung mga yan? So in other words, ang dating sa akin is kinulong nila yung parang second level. But what about the real masterminds? Lahat sila nakatakas. And they're just hoping, oh, kulong na si Alice Go, happy na tayo dapat. No, they have to arrest those big bosses. At sama mo na rin si Harry Roque. Kailangan ma-arrest siya. Kailangan ma-cancel yung password niya. May arrest warrant na ba? Para kay Harry Roque, hindi ko alam. Pero kay Cassandra, oh, meron na. So dapat kay Harry Roque meron na at makancel na rin yung passport niya yan. Hindi na siya pwede magtago because he was directly side by side with Cassandra Ong in a lot of these negotiations with PAGCOR. Okay? And living yung kanyang PA, yung PA niya na nakatira dun sa sa compound. So yun ang ano ko dito. So let's see where it goes, but so far this is a half measures pa lang to.
Yeah, glass half empty, half full. But yun ang gusto ni Mark, yung engineer. Sige lang.
May gusto din ako dagdag, Richard. Meron ding balita today. 'Di ba? Kasi kakasabi natin siguro dito na VP for Sara, baka si Marcoleta. Ngayong araw lumalabas na sa balita. Meron ng isang governor sa Mindanao who is opening up the idea of Marcoleta for vice president. So mukhang doon nga papunta. And ang problema niyan, syempre sila Senadora Amy, yung kanilang pangarap na maging VP ni Sara, mas lumiliit yung tsansa. Kasi I think, yun nga, like I said, itong si Marcoleta is front runner para sa kampo nila para maging VP for Sara. And ayun, baka yun ang maging direction talaga. Kasi pinag-uusapan natin for the last how many months eh. Ngayon nga, nagkakatotoo na, lumalabas na doon. May mga news articles na, so definite meron ng move. Meron ng PR na move na ganun to open, kumaga para ilabas sa public yung ganung idea of Sara
A legal
Marcoleta
luminary
tandem
as
sa
our next
2020.
president. A legal luminary as our next president. I mean, who knows? Baka VP rin siya ng admin. I mean, maybe he will do the ultimate like double move, right? Like DDS will like him,
Yun nga.
admin will like him, 'di ba? Ang ayaw lang naman talaga sa kanya yung mga pinks, 'di ba? You never know. Mark Coleta is in a good spot. I think he's at the peak of his powers. In fairness to the guy, 'di ba? He made the right move. Akalain nyo ba? Dati, minimim lang siya sa West Philippines. Ngayon, he's in the conversation for at least the second highest offer. On that very encouraging note, I guess. Thank you so much, Mark, and thank you so much, Chris, and of course, thank you to Attorney Jess for gracing our little show. I know he's very important. He's very important. So we are very very blessed to have him. Thank you so much, guys, and catch up next week. Hopefully, there's still sabi nga ng tao, may weather forecast, iba na yung presidente next week. Sana naman, whatever happens, resign all na lang lahat ng mga kurakot. 'Di ba? Mag-transitional government tayo. Kasi sabi nga ni Polong, 'di ba? Baka ang mangyari dito, yung mga oligarchs ang mag-take over, dapat taong bayan. I agree with Polong. The same way you guys agree with Leonardo, you agree with ganun naman tayo eh. We can all agree, all of them. Even a broken clock is correct twice a day. So I can agree with Polong on this one. Thank you so much, guys. Maraming salamat. Talk to you soon. God bless.